So congregation, this morning we'll again open our Bible to the book of Mark, and we've come to chapter 11. Now, as perhaps is obvious to us in the flow of the text, this is a pretty big transition. Chapter 11 begins that final section of the gospel of the Lord Jesus Christ as recorded by Mark. Continuing on to the end of chapter 16, we are dealing now specifically with those events immediately surrounding the coming to the cross of the Lord Jesus Christ, then his death and resurrection and ascension and so forth, these many things. But what we need to pay this morning particularly careful attention to, as you'll see in the sermon, is how here the Lord is intentionally fulfilling so much promised about the Messiah in the Old Testament. And so there will be many different texts that I will reference. You might want to jot them down. I'll read some of them, a verse or two. Others I'll simply mention for our benefit so that we might have a fuller picture. And I know I'm front-loading this with quite a bit, but I'm going to say one more thing. We need to have a fuller picture because it is up to us, the church, to know these things. The culture, the world that, as I look at you, many of you grew up in, and many of your parents who are now with the Lord and grandparents raised you in, that world is no longer our world.